Well, welcome back. Happy New Year's to everybody. To all a healthy, happy New Year. Hope your Christmas was great. And whatever else you celebrate, all your holidays and all the good stuff. I hope you had good food, good family, good friends, and good fellowship, and good festivities. All the good F's. Um, this is Queens, season 1, episode 9, bars. Right away, we just gonna get right into it. We open up to the Queens around a headstone, at a grave site, and they're all emotional. I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe this is real. I can't even believe this is what life is. Or all of that good stuff. And all the girls are like I can't be here right now. And Jill's like I'll be in touch and all of that stuff. And Eric is like, take care of yourself. Everybody's real dismissive and ready to run, ready to go. Anybody wondering why I got this thick red hoodie on? Once again, it is dumb cold outside. It is snowing in the tri-state area, or was snowing, and it's still on the ground, and the snow is now ice. So that is why I have this on, and I usually sleep with this too. I don't care. Um, they get to talking about Darren and how he shot Bree, and his trial is allegedly next week. Eric's like, I hope he fries and all of that good stuff. And not all of that good stuff, but that's what he said. Um, Going further, some of these things are out of order, whatever. I tried to do the best I could. It's been a long day. And yeah. So I think next we see Muffin and Naomi at the market and the market, the grocery store, the supermarket, whatever you want to call it. And Naomi is, loading stuff into the car. Or, wait a minute, do we see. This is one of the scenes. Either way, I think we flash forward 3 months later. Bree's house is now Naomi, Eric, and JoJo's house. They now live there as a happy family. Eric got evicted for paying back Jada, who he actually still owes. No, excuse me. He borrowed money from Jada still, and to pay the money to the label. So he owes Jada money, got evicted, all of that good stuff. And I believe Muffin lives there too. I think they all live there. Muffin, JoJo, Eric, and Naomi all live in Bree's house now because the house was sold. I believe we see the grocery store scene next, or we saw either way. Grocery store, they in the parking lot, and the parking lot attendant who was grabbing the carts happens to be a rapper that Naomi used to battle back in the day, named Zadie, aka Lady Z. Muffin has now decided that she's retired from the game. She's done. She's over it. She wants to be a public defender. Um, Valeria, we see in the studio next, recording a new single. She's talking about Bree and talking about being 40 and being alone and not having a husband, not having no kids, and just basically talking about things that she wants and realizing the value of time with all the events that have occurred with Bree. Um, Jill has a new job as an actress on a soap opera, and she grows completely estranged from the group. She don't want to talk to them, see them, nothing, because Jill kind of blames herself because it was her ex-husband that did this to Bree and caused the group to go through what they're going through. There's a new rapper out named Cash Mermaid, and the bakery has now attached themselves to her, and they want beef and they want a battle with Muffin. And if y'all remember the bakery was Muffin's entourage, her little crew, that basically never had any best interest at heart for her anyway. They always, were about themselves and about what Muffin could do for them. Let's see. Back at the supermarket, Naomi runs into Zadie after telling Eric that she saw Zadie and all of that good stuff. And she was like, listen, I'm sorry. You were one of the best back in the day. Me and you used to battle. We was the top two back in the day. We fed into the beef, but I really think that you're dope, and I think you should get back out there. I know working at the grocery store is not you, and at the end of the day, I think me and you could work together. I've been in a rut lately, but I think that you are just the person to push me out of that. And Zadie is like, and it's hard to not call her Remy because Zadie is played by Remy Ma, by the way. You know Remy. Remy's been around forever. Remy has plenty of hits of her own, plenty of collaborations. You know her from reality TV. You know Remy from the press. But at the end of the day, you know Remy as probably one of the most undisputed and hardest female MCs and MCs in general of all time. Um, yeah, so Remy plays Zadie. And Remy's storyline as Zadie isn't too different from her storyline in real life. So, or in not in real life, but her storyline as far as her own career goes is what I'll say. Zadie declined. She doesn't want to work. She has a normal life. She has, stability. She's made employee of the month 3 times. They love her at work. You know, she's able to go clock in, clock out. She has health insurance. Different things that the game couldn't offer her, and she's done with it. Let's see. Going further into it, we found out that Zadie was signed to a guy named Frank Black, and the way Eric told the story was basically that Zadie was signed to him, and the way Naomi tells everybody, what tells the story about Frank Black is that he was just as big as Timberland and Puff, and basically the way Zadie's career ended was that she assaulted him, did time, and basically after that was out of the game. Um, let's see, Valeria and her sound engineer, back when she was recording that single about everybody in the group and their events that have occurred, they go on a date, and the date goes very well. He wasn't really talkative, and she was like, "We've been working on this record for weeks. You don't really have too much to say." And he was like, "I'm just here to make you sound good. I'm a sound engineer, and at the end of the day, me making you sound good is not that hard. It's very easy." So they go on a date. They go grab some food. The date doesn't really end. I think the date is like over the course of 24 hours. Then they end up at a chapel, and they get married. Fast forward to them down the line, um, Valeria and this married at first sight situation going on. Uh, they're sitting in the studio thinking of places to go honeymooning. Should we go to Machu Picchu? Should we go to Bora Bora? Should we go to the Maldives? He has the perfect idea. Let's go to New York. He's from Jersey. His name is Thomas. He's from Jersey. Valeria's from New York. He's like, you know what? I know tri-state area is not the most, ideal area to honeymoon, but you can meet my family. I can meet yours. And then during the conversation of family, Valeria gets very quiet. She gets very distant, and she begins to drink more because she had a glass of wine. So he was like, "Is something wrong? Why she's nervous, and gets a little shaky and a little shies away from the conversation, and her new husband is like, what's the issue, whatever the case may be. And she was like, I just think we're doing too much talking, not enough kissing. So she gets out of it that way, and that's how that conversation kind of goes. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Elsewhere in the episode, we see that Jill's having a hard time focusing at work, having a hard time sleeping, having a hard time really getting anything done because she's kind of anxiety ridden and has got PTSD from everything that's been going on. And also, too, she's suffering because she's been blaming herself from the situation that happened with her ex husband and Bree. And due to all of this, one of the assistants on set says, "Listen, whatever you're going through, you need to call your friends because you shouldn't have to go through this alone." Instead of and I believe she did pick up her phone, but I don't believe she reached out to her friends. I think she reached out to her dealer, ends up meeting up with her former dealer, and he was like, "Yo, are you sure? Because I ain't seen you in a minute." And it's kind of sad when your dealer asks you, "Are you sure you trying to cop?" And she takes it, gives him the money, and she drives, and that was really it. There's a new rapper out named Cash Mermaid who is taunting Muffin, and but also needs Muffin's help. So as we said before, the bakery is now rolling with Cash Mermaid, and she calls Muffin up and says, "Listen, I was just getting caught up, and I don't really have anybody advising me." At this stage in my career that I'm starting to blow up in, and I'm just wondering if you could advise me, whatever the case may be. Eric says he actually almost signed her, but her mother bought unseasoned potato salad to their meeting, so he decided not to sign her. Muffin agrees to advise Cash Mermaid because Cash Mermaid actually used to be a fan of hers and he actually used to be humble. Um, Getting back into Zadie, aka Lady Z, turns out Zadie was turned out and turned away from the industry, but not just because of an assault charge, but other reasons going on, and it was because she was sexually assaulted by Frank Black and then blackballed. And we've seen this with several women, in the industry, especially black women, but we've seen this with several women. in every industry. We have, your cases with Weinstein. You got all your different things going on at different networks like CNN and ABC. But musically, we've seen, Gaga tell stories about what happened to her when she was 19. Jesse Reyes and BB Rexa and Tinashe, and they all had situations with a producer named Noel Fisher, aka Detail. Sparkle, who was signed to a guy named Robert Kelly. So we've seen this happen several times to where your career is just over and you're blackballed, or certain things happen to you in the industry by producers who literally have your career right here, and I can either give it to you and I can take it from you depending on what you do for me. And that's incredibly sad and disgusting. Anyway, Cash Mermaid and the bakery set Muffin up at this meeting, as I knew it was gonna be a setup, and basically they wanted to clout chase and um I guess go viral, because the bakery's there filming it, and they adding in jokes, and Muffin just takes the high road. She's the bigger person. The little Cash Mermaid girl wants to fight her. At first glance, I thought that Cash Mermaid was Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop. I promise you, I thought that that was Mariah Lynn. I can't be the only one that thought that was Mariah Lynn. And if it's not her, she does a very good impression of her. Also, too, she reminds me of the girl. Who was the one? Was it Krayshawn, who dropped years ago? Way, way long ago. I think she had like a real, real big record deal, and then we never heard from her again. Um, I could say she's probably based off of Iggy Azalea a little bit. Um, who else? Maybe that's it. Maybe it was just them, like Mariah Lynn, and I don't know. Either way, full of cultural misappropriation and all that, all that stuff. So, um, let's see. Muffin leaves. Muffin leaves, from the girl trying to fight her, trying to start a beef with her. At the end of the day, that's what a lot of people do. They come into the game, they clout chase when they have an album to promote, when they have a single to promote, when they have, buzz to get and buzz to capture, and your contract rides on it. You get desperate and you do stupid things such as cause beef with people that you don't know, or people that you don't have any legitimate beef with or issues with. That's what you do. Happens in the game a lot. All you gotta do is press Google, press most infamous hip hop beefs or most infamous beefs in the music. You know what I'm saying? You'll see them. Um, let's see. So we catch Jill in the car. Um, she has the stuff, a powdery substance, Coca Cola, and she's holding on to it. She massaging her face with it and all that other good stuff. You can tell she's thinking about doing it, but then tosses it out of the window, decides to not do it. As I think a lot of it's predicted, but at the same time, I was nervous. I was like, "Yo, Jill, you really getting ready to relapse? Like this is bad." Um, and as we all probably predicted, cops roll up on her, and turns out it's just for an expired sticker, and she gets off with a fix it ticket. But then the lady cop, who is partners with the male cop that pulled Jill over, rolls up, and somehow she miraculously finds the bag of Fun Dip, and it's like, did you happen to throw this out the window or whatever the case may be? Now, how you find that? It looked like Jill was on a whole freeway, and suddenly you found a bag of party mix and gonna say it was from her. Really? That was one of the stupidest things I had seen in my life, but whatever. Um, Valeria is sitting with Eric and Naomi at their house, and basically she just is like, I don't want to tell Thomas the truth about being an orphan, 40 years old, no family, because at the end of the day, it's embarrassing. And also, too, she's afraid that this is just somebody else who's going to walk out on her. Um, Muffin has taken the high road with the Cash Mermaid situation. JoJo's been urging her to, respond. Throw a diss record out there. Don't let her come for you like this. And, Muffin is taking the high road. Muffin want to do something new every week. But she really has been sticking to her guns. I want to be normal. I don't want to do this. I want to be public defender. I want to be, I want to go demand justice and take over the world. And finally, the straw that broke the camel's back was when Cash Mermaid who is it? Wait a minute. Chanel West Coast. That's who she reminds me of too a little bit. She does a the video that she was attempting to have go viral and to clout chase with Muffin, and you know where she tried to antagonize or whatever the case may be. In this video that she fed to her social media followers, she ends up saying the N word, and that was, and they were all shocked and appalled. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that was the battery in Muffin's back. She was like, "Oh no!" So, and this happens a lot. We've seen this a lot. We see it still. We see it on social media all the time. And I don't care about any of that. Oh, well, this is hip hop, and oh, she was raised black. If you ain't black, you don't use that word. That's it, and that's all. Um, so with that, Muffin has finally decided to reply and goes and does her own disc record at the studio, and after that, they get a call from Jill because Jill's in jail. So the whole family goes and picks Jill up from jail. And, you know, for some reason also, Jill had on this Rick James wig the entire episode. I have no idea why. I have no idea what that was about. I don't know if Naturi got beef with hair and makeup, but please fix it because this is unnecessary. Like, for real. I understand she was going through some things, but the Rick James wig was not necessary. Um, so back at the house, you know, Jill's just letting them know what she's been going through and how she blames herself and all of that stuff. And Muffin comes in the room and says, "Listen, I got all your charges dropped. They couldn't prove that the stuff came out your car, and then I called the mayor because I performed at his daughter's Sweet 16, so we really on a good look. You're not getting charged for this. They don't want this lawsuit from a Catholic Christian." Wait a minute, did I say that? Or did she say a Catholic? Look at me, a Catholic Christian. You could be both if you want. A Catholic celebrity who just escaped her husband's attempted murder. That's what she said. Um, Eric comes in the room, says he has good news, bad news. Zadie's name is still trash around town, but Muffin's buzz from the disc record um, got her new label offers from Def Jam, Interscope, and the girls are like, yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, what if her album don't do this? And what if her album don't do that? And all of that stuff. And then Muffin's like, so they down with the new Conscious Muffin? And then Naomi's like, yeah, but it's still gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be a bunch of dudes in polos telling you what to do, how you should sound, and how you should be. So that's when they come up with the idea of, yo, this should be a record ran by women, promoting women, for women of all ages, all kinds, all sizes, all shapes, everything. This should be a label that represents women like us. And that's when they come up with the idea to do Nasty Girl Records, to where they end up offering Zadie a contract. They also sign Muffin, but also all of the Nasty Bees, all the queens are gonna release their solo music on the label as well. And they offer Zadie a contract and she accepts. And yeah, Nasty Girl Records. Also in the episode, you know, we see Eric and Naomi talk about their relationship because they clearly still got unfinished business. And, you know, Naomi's like, nah, you just a roommate. And he was like, so you just going to ignore the kiss that we had at the hospital. I definitely see things happening with them. We don't know what happened with Naomi and the video director or any of that stuff. So I guess we'll see where this goes. But you can also tell, too, that Eric, I feel that he was also a little bit salty and maybe a little bit jealous about the fact that Valeria up and got married and really is done, because she did look at him in the episode and said all the guys that I've dated have been trash, and she looked directly at him when she said it. At the very end of the episode, the grave actually turned out to be Valeria's mother's grave. She passed in 2019, and she brings Thomas, her husband, to the grave and confesses that she's an orphan and that she grew up an orphan, and by the time she found out who her mother was, this is where she was. So she doesn't have a family. He was like, you do. So far, so good. He seems to be all right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess we'll see. Because at the same time, this is Queens and something is always wrong, especially on Valeria's end. And at the very end of the episode, as they celebrate Nasty Girl Records, they said we got one more person to call. And because the entire episode, we thought that Bree was no longer with us because they keep talking about her in the past tense. Turns out, Bree is alive and well. Bree is retired and has retreated to an island with her kids in Costa Rica. And as they try to call her, she silences her phone, and she takes her kids to the beach, the park, the pool, you know, to the movies, wherever they want to go. She was like, we could do both. So that is I guess how they're handling Eve's storyline, which I thought so, because they did say that they were handling Eve's storyline so where there could be a possibility for her to return, especially if there's a season 2. And that is Queens season 1, episode 9, Bars. So what did you guys think of the episode? Did y'all think that Brie was a goner? For a second there I was nervous. I was like, yo, did they lie? But it was good to see her, because I'm sorry, but Brie's storyline and Brie's character in general is one of the main reasons why I watch. That's just what it is. I'm here mostly for Eve. I'm here for the entire show. But Eve is definitely my favorite character. Her storyline is very complex, and I can't wait. I'm very happy for her in her real life. Well, her baby's due in a few weeks. I'm very excited for her. But I love her character on the show, and I can't wait to see her back in action on the show. And I do hope that they get a season 2, because, like I said, her storyline has the most layers and the most complexities to it. Anyways, what'd you think of the episode? What do you think of Remy being on the show, kind of filling the void while Eve is on maternity leave? And what do you think is gonna come from Bree's storyline? What do you think is gonna come from Remy's storyline? What do you think she has to offer? I can appreciate the reality that is attached to her storyline. I do appreciate that. I love that she's gonna bring that to light, and maybe it will encourage more changes in the industry. You know what I mean? Or inspire some people to do some things, like like the venture with Nasty Girl Records, and more women to keep speaking up, because that is important. Anyways, what you think of the episode? What do you think of Remy's addition to the cast? Who do you think that the little Cash Mermaid chick is based off of? And of course, what do you think of the season so far and the episode in general? Tell me below. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Thank you to everybody who tunes in. The very teeny tiny YouTube entourage that we do have. Again, Happy New Year. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Sanitize, all that good stuff. Drink your water. And hopefully soon we will see the other side of everything going on. But yeah, that was Queens. So see y'all next time, next week. Thanks.